in order not to disenfranchise the original owners of the shops. It was a community market, and its status as a community market must be maintained. The reason for this motions, for this prayer, sir, is because most other markets have been getting burnt down in Abuja, and after they are burnt down, they are rebuilt under some sort of very commercial arrangement that excludes the masses and the original owners of the market. These, I will believe, are some of the causes of insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory. I so submit.
Well, we had and rebuild the market, offer the market to the original owners, and they were all butchers. So we do not know who the original owners are, at subsidized rates, and thereafter maintain it. Well, here it was a community market, and its status as a community market must be maintained. So why do you use government money to build community market, maintain the status, and hand over to the community? So what I'm saying in essence is that the prayer is faulty, and there is anybody who wants to second this prayer. Yes, Natasha, you want to second the prayer?
Yes, sir. Senator Ireti Kingibe. If you're asking if your question has to do with the disbursement or the utilization of government funds in rebuilding a community market, sir, the people are the government, the communities are the government. So it's like the people using their money to their own advantage. So I stand to second the motion as amended by Senator Ireti Kingibe, sir.
No, the motion you accept.
The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day's sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. Order 51. Notice shall not be dispensed with in the case of which a motion or in respect of any other proceeding for which notice is required, except with the consent of the President of the Senate and the general assent of the senators present.
Have you referred the matter to the President of the Senate?
I have referred it to you, sir, 2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago?
Yes, you told me to bring it.
Okay, what was it about?
It was about the fire in Cairo.
Yeah, distinguished colleagues, she mentioned the tragedy that befell to the attention of the distinguished senators. Is it the view of the Senate that she be allowed to proceed with this motion? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. You may proceed.
And the need for safer public places. My name is Senator Ireti Kingibe, representing the Federal Capital Territory. Note that on June 27, 2024, a fire outbreak occurred at the Main Market, Abuja. This incident left scores of traders in tears after goods worth billions of naira were destroyed. Eyewitnesses say that the fire occurred late at night when the market had closed for business. It razed almost all the shops and destroyed foodstuffs, electronics, cosmetics, clothes, among other consumables and non-consumable items worth billions of naira. Further notes that fire outbreaks have become one too many already, with attendant losses running to billions of naira. In the last 6 months, there have been several incidences of this nature, from Idumota Market area in Lagos to the police shopping complex, Mararaba, Nasarawa State, to the Yankatako Market, region Lemu area of Fege, local government, Kano State, just to mention a few. Aware that these fire outbreaks had all the same causative factors, which hinged on building safety regulations that were inadequate or not adhered to or outrightly not in place. Further aware that as fire outbreaks in Nigeria have risen to national attention in recent years, causing great loss of economy, loss of lives of our people, as well as destruction of critical sectors of the nation's economy and infrastructure. infrastructure. If this is allowed to continue, we will continue to record huge economic losses, loss of lives, as well as environmental hazards that will have an overall negative impact on the lives of the people we serve. Concerned that this state of unpreparedness in safety management cuts across private homes, government buildings, open parks and gardens, markets, shopping complexes, warehouses, sawmills, fuel tankers, gas and fuel stations, educational establishments, shops, clubs, hospitals, hotels and restaurants, thereby exposing ourselves to avoidable mishaps. Accordingly, resolves that to urge the federal government through its Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Social Development, and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to urgently make emergency palliative and relief provisions available to cushion the effects of the fire on these victims. Urge the FCDA and AMAC to offer the rebuilt shops to the victims at a subsidized and affordable rate in order not to disenfranchise the original owners of the shops. It was a community market, and its status as a community market must be maintained. Mandate the communities on environment and legislative compliance to ensure strict compliance with this resolution and report back to the Senate, sir, in 4 weeks. I so pray.
Habib, I represent Jigawa Southwest people. Mr. President, I support the motion submitted by Senator ireti Kingibe and fully and urge that some palliative be rushed to the people affected by the fire. I so support. Thank you.
I'm Amos Yohana, Adamawa North. The issue of fire mishaps in this country is becoming too many. And particularly the market that the motion is moved on that caught fire some few weeks ago is a market that was badly congested. There were no access roads. They were built as if that market was not in the capital city of Nigeria. There were just batches in that market. I had the privilege to go into that market on several occasions. And it's an eyesore. And so when this fire came up, there was no way even for the emergency people to access where the fire was consuming. And so I will support totally this motion and urge that at least in the capital city of Nigeria, markets should be modernized. And markets should be built to reflect the developing nature of our country and show in the character of the markets the character of a very organized society. With this, Mr. President, I'd like to support totally this motion and that action should be taken to revisit all the markets in the capital city and also across the country that are under the control of respective authorities in the subnationals, so that safety measures are taken and they are built in consideration that human beings transact business in those areas. Thank you, Mr. President.
House of Lords.
It's House of Lords, President.
No longer Senate.
With Natasha as the gatekeeper.
You are no longer in the Senate. You are now in the House of Lords.
Respectfully, Mr. President, there's merit in this motion, and I throw my full weight behind the spirit that underlines this motion. We saw the rage of fire in that market, and I was very touched. And I received calls from my people in Akpabio South, who are all very compassionate, asking me to align with their feelings about the trauma